So what we're going to do today is just a little bit more involved in the same thing we had done a few weeks ago with text and adding images to it. This is one, if you'll notice, I have various images added into the letters, and this is really easy to do once you get started. Now, I did mention something about putting the images on your desktop, because in some ways, and I mean on your desktop of your computer, because in some ways that does make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to get rid of this one right now by highlighting it and just hitting delete on my keyboard. And I'm going to come over here to the text tool again. And I can't make my thing won't make a little round circle anymore with my new computer. But anyway, I'm over here on the left-hand side to the text tool. And I'm going to type in the word kids. I think I'll do it all in caps. So I'll put my cap lock on. And of course I'm going to highlight it, and then I'm going to change the font to Impact, because that's one that's really good to use when you're doing things like this because it's so chunky. I could scroll all the way down here, but since I use Impact a lot, if I just back this up like this, it shows my frequently used fonts, and they're right here, or recently used. So there's Impact. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to make it really large. Okay, let's see. And I'm going to move it over a little bit. All right. The next thing that I want to do to get started with this is to just highlight it, and I'm going to add an offset. So I come over to the right-hand side where the little star tool is, which is the offset panel. And I'll click on the offset panel to open it. And once the offset panel is open, all I have to do is click on offset, and it automatically puts an offset around it just like that. Those of you who use Cricut, you probably love this. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click off of it, and I'm going to get the offset. So I'm going to click, oopsie, I guess I should have grouped it. I'm going to hold down my Shift key and get all the offset and move it off to the side like that. And I think while it's all together, I will right-click and say Group. And, you know what I think I'll just leave it like this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to color it. So I'll come up here to the color palette up in the upper left-hand corner. Click on that, and I'm going to make it black. And then I'm just going to move it out of the way because I don't need it for right now. So what I want to do next is I want to cut up the word kids so that I can add different ones. You remember last time what we did, we brought in one image and that image filled up the whole letter. This time I want to have different images filling up different parts of the letter. So what I would do is I'm going to ungroup this, and I'm going to take it letter by letter. So the first thing I'm going to do is just come over here to the shape area on the left-hand side, the drawing tools, and get the rectangle. Then I'm going to come over here on the K and draw a skinny little rectangle like this. Just like that. And then if I want to, I can draw another one by coming over and getting the rectangle tool, clicking on it and drawing. Or I can just hold the Alt key down on my keyboard while this one is still selected. Hold the Alt and drag this down like this. And maybe make it come across some, and perhaps make it a little bit skinnier like that. And like there. And again, I could hold the Alt key down, drag another one down. Maybe this time, instead of it going straight across, I want to make it at an angle, just for a little bit more interest, just like that. Okay, so we're actually done with the first letter already. So what I can do now is I would just grab all of that to highlight everything, the little rectangles that I did. And so, Tammy, I'll check my phone every now and then to make sure you're not saying something if I can't hear it because it's low. Anyway. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to come over here to the Modify panel, which is way over here on the right. It's a rectangle and a little circle. Click on the Modify panel, And what I'm going to do now is just click on subtract. So you'll notice what that did is it subtracted those little cuts I made right out of there. So if I was to bring this thing back over, and well, you won't be able to see because this right now is transparent. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start filling these little spaces up with images. One really, really quick and easy way to do that is if you've saved your images on your desktop. So I think what I'll need to do is change the way I'm sharing my screen. Whoopsie, move this over. New share. Okay. So what hopefully you can see now is this little folder I have over here on the right-hand side that says class. I'm going to click on that to open it. And here are all the images I have in here that I can use in here. Now, the good thing about having them on your desktop, at least in this Windows computer, is I can just simply drag this little guy's picture here right over onto that part right there, and it fills in that space perfectly. Sometimes they fill in the spaces a little bit weirdly, but okay, let's try the little girl. I'm going to click on her to highlight her and just hold my mouse key down and drag her over here. Now see, she's going to go weird in there. You see how her face is kind of cut off? So I might want to find a different place for her. And so I kind of like her right there. So let's see, I can get these two little guys right here and drag them over like that, or the two little kids. And okay, so I didn't cut this one in half. I should have. So let me continue just with the K. Let's see what else we have over here that we might be able to use. Let's try this image. Okay, so that one doesn't work that well there. So let me hit Control Z. Let's see, what else do we have? Try this one. Okay, that's good for the little girl right there. And what else we got? I'll try these guys, see if they work over in there. Whoopsie. Okay, they went in that little spot. That's good. And the last one that I'll do over here is these little kids here and there. So the K is done like that, and as is the I. I could have cut the I into pieces if I wanted to add more pieces right there. So then I would go ahead and start doing the D. So again, I need to get my tools over here so that, move my chat. So I can get the little square, the rectangle, come and get it. Going to start working on the D. So I might just draw actually this line right here. And then I'm going to bring it down maybe and then twirl it just to see how I might like it to be. I think it might be interesting like that. So then I'd get another one, or I could hold the Alt key down on my keyboard and drag this down to here maybe, like that. And I think I'd want to make it a little bit longer because it doesn't look like it's going the whole way across. That. And let's see, what else? I'll move this down a little bit so it cuts that part off and cuts that off. I'm not sure what this is going to look like, so what I'm going to do right now is just take this D and those pieces and come over to the Modify panel if the panel is still not out, and click on that, and then subtract, and there we have that. So again, what I would do is come over here to these images, and maybe I'll get these two little kids. Let's see if they'll go up here cute like. Nope, I don't like them there. And so no, I don't want those in there. I'm going to delete those, delete. Let's see, where can I put somebody? So look what I did. I deleted the whole piece. So I better go Z, delete, Control Z to get that back. And there. Let's see, try this guy up here again, see what happens. Okay, that one's okay up there. Let's see about these two kids this time. Nope. So I can put them all in there if I wanted to, just like we had done before. But you can see how easy it is to just drag and drop them into there instead of having to do the crop. But let's say I want to use, whoopsie, whoa. All right, let me figure out what I need to do here. Okay. Y'all can't see what I see, but there's so many boxes on this because of Zoom. I gotta move things out of my way. So I'm gonna minimize this again. I'm gonna come over here, and actually what I'll do is this. I'm just gonna go to File and Merge. I'm just gonna merge one of those pictures into here. So let's just grab these two little kids here. I think they're really cute. So what I can do, because they come in so big, is I can come up here to where the sizing is, make sure the lock is locked, and then change that to a much smaller size so it's more manageable. I'll change it to maybe 3 for inches and hit enter. So now this is much more manageable. So let's, and I can make it smaller by shoving it in like this. Let's say I want to put it in this spot right here. Oh, let's see though, those aren't connected, so I'm not sure about this. But what I would do is this. Take this, let's see, what would I do? I think I would grab all of these and move them out of the way. Maybe grab these and move that out of the way. So all I'm left with is this guy. The other thing I might do is I might decide to change this so it has a color so I can see it better. So what I did was I highlighted it, and I'm going to come up here to the color area and just make it a light color like that. And I think I'll do the same thing with this one. Come up here and make that a light color also. So now what I can do is I can just bring this behind here, and what I can do then is this. I can come over here to the color palette on the right hand side, and I can change the transparency. After I highlight it, I can change the transparency, because then I can kind of see what will show up on that letter behind there. So I can move this down maybe about like that, or maybe I want to make it smaller like that. However, if I make it too small, look, this color is going to show up here. So I don't really want to do that. I think I'll try it like this. Both of their eyes appear to be in there. That looks like that's going to work fine. So I'm going to leave that. I'm going to highlight all of this. And once again, I'll come to the Modify panel, move the fill, come to the Modify panel, and I'm going to crop. So what that did was it cropped that right out of all of that. I guess I had it all selected. That's true. If I had just selected these two pieces, it would have just cropped them out of that. But it did the whole thing. So let's look and see what that looks like. I've got to change my transparency back again so it's dark. So it would be like that.
Yeah.
You got a question?
No, I said that's cute.
Oh, okay. Thank you. All right, so then I probably would group that back together. And then I still have the S over here, which I could bring back over like that. Okay, the nice thing about doing it like this with these little places in here, especially if you have different kids' pictures in them, is this. Uh-oh, I hope I brought it over totally right. Look at, got kind of lucky. Because you remember, since I moved these around, but looks like it still fits pretty well. My offset, I might want to skinny this up just a tiny little bit like that. No, I probably don't want to do that. What I should actually do, I'm hitting Control-Z on my keyboard to go back. So I'm going to bring my offset back behind here. And rather than changing my offset, what I should be doing is just changing where this is, because my offset really didn't change. It's just these letters that changed a little bit. So then you can get the idea of how this would look if I was to divide these up and have different kids. You can almost see, let me get rid of the red of the, didn't group those, I guess. So I'm going to get rid of the red outline because we know that won't show up. And then you can see that there's actually a little border, and you actually may have wanted, I say actually a lot, you may have wanted to have a little bit wider of a space. So if you look at this closely, you see the spacing in between here where I made the space with the little rectangle. You may have wanted a larger space in between those to kind of offset them. But I just think it's really, really cute because you can have, maybe you have a child and you can have him growing up, you know, you can have Aaron or whatever. Here he is as a baby, a bunch of pictures, and then a little bit older, a little bit older, a little bit older, or something like that. Or, you know, a vacation picture. You could have several pictures in one area. So why don't you guys, what? Wait, what?
Wedding photos.
Oh, that'd be fabulous. Wedding photos. That'd be really cool. Yeah. So why don't y'all just grab your images for a minute and just put in a word and try it for a second and see if you're able to do it and how it works for you and if you have any questions that you need to ask. And then if anybody's able to do anything, we'll give you about, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes. If you're able to do something with yours, maybe you'll be willing to share it since we've figured that out. So get busy. All right.
Those are some cute kids.
Aren't those? I just got those on Pixabay too. Some of these little guys look like these two right here. Uh-oh. That little guy and that girl, they look like my grandchildren a little bit because of the curly hairs and the dark eyes and hair.
Yeah.
Seen them, Tammy, you know that they.
Yeah, they do.
No, I'm not allowed to use my grandkids' pictures. My daughter would kill me. She's very protective, and I'm not allowed. But these two, where's the rest of him? They really look like twins. Let's see, wow. Trying to look. And my grandkids are twins, these guys. I can't even get to my box. Pardon me?
I said go to class. Isn't that where they at?
Yeah. I just couldn't get to it because of all these boxes that you can't quite see are in my way.
Yeah.
I keep having to move them. Let's see, what is this one? This is siblings. Oh, I still have it on transparency. I need to get rid of that. And it's huge.
Good Lord, 26.
Ouch. There they are.
Oh, they cute.
They look like my little grandbabies.
Yeah.
Especially the little girl with her hair up like that.
Ain't that cute?
Isn't that cute? There's one of them that's from Pixabay where they're actually giving each other a smooch. It's cute.
Oh.
So let me know in the chat if anybody's working or if you're all just waiting.
Tracy, are you putting those pretty pictures you had on there?
Oh wait, she can't answer back because they're muted. Maybe you should unmute everybody for a minute. Can you unmute all?
Yeah. Oh, but if I do that and they're not expecting it, let's see.
It's okay. I just unmuted myself. Yes, I am working on this.
Thank you.
Good.
It's a lot easier than typing.
Yeah, right. Donna's just waiting. Okay. Chow's watching. Chow, you probably have a lot of cute pictures you could be using. Yes, Diana's playing. Hopefully some of you who are playing will be willing to show what you've done. You could just do one letter, those of you who are just watching if you're able.
That was clever, Tracy. Thank goodness for undo buttons.
Your phone is full of them. Are you taking them off your phone? I'm so afraid everybody's going to lose all their pictures.
Oh, I have so many. I have to pay $1 a month to add more space.
Wow. Yeah.
I need to go clean this up.
When I got a new phone, I lost all of my pictures, even though they were transferring them over. Supposedly, they all got lost.
Exactly.
With that new update for the iPhone, that covers that now. Says it makes it easier to do.
Oh, that's good.
Be sure and upgrade your phone.
Yeah.
Update it, not upgrade it.
Right. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Chow does print hers out. That's good. Not too many print them anymore, and everybody's gonna miss having those, I think, at some time. You know?
I send mine to Walmart. It's
Oh,
like
do you?
yeah, they're like 8 cents a picture.
Oh, I can't beat that.
Yeah, so yeah, I send them to Walmart and get them developed because they do it in an hour, and you do it from your computer and send them to them, and you just don't run in there and grab them. So
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because I love looking at old pictures of like my grandparents, and
me too. Yeah,
I like having that thing in my hand.
yeah, definitely.
All right, we'll just give you a couple more minutes so those of you who are just sitting there aren't getting bored stiff.
I've done something wrong. I don't know what I've done, but something
Uh-oh.
didn't work.
Look, I lost these guys. What happened?
I don't know. Hang on. I'm just going to try something else. Hang on. That kind of didn't work either. Jesus. Sorry, he's not going to help either, is he?
So you had your images on your screen, correct?
Yeah, and that's where I think it's gone wrong.
Oh yeah, they won't pop right in there if you have them on your screen. You'll have to do the cropped version.
That's what I was trying to do, but it's cropped the whole word.
Oh.
So I'll just put them back on the
Did you ungroup the word and then just grab the one letter?
Yeah, I
and
did that.
Huh.
Yeah, I did.
You
Weird.
might have to share your screen and show us what you're doing. We'll see. We can troubleshoot.
Hang on a second.
Let me know if you want to. I'll stop my share.
Okay, I'll share it.
Okay, let me stop
mine. Oh, okay.
Okay. Say, is Colleen here? No, she's not getting to see her picture back here. This is Colleen. While we're waiting, this is Colleen's picture back here. That's her frog. She used to have a swimming pool, and she turned it into a pond. Okay, here we are. Yippee.
Okay, yeah, I've got the hello up.
Yeah?
And then I did the little, the H is ungrouped.
Right.
I did it there. And
Wait,
then
that didn't go the whole way across.
Oh, hang on.
There you go. Yep, that's better. Yep.
Then would I have to subtract that?
Just you have to highlight the letter H and that together.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But you don't have the H selected. You just have the block.
Oh, you know why? Because I went backwards. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Now get the H and the block.
Yeah.
And then subtract.
Okay, so that's what I've done wrong. I haven't subtracted that before. Hang on.
Let's see if it works.
Oh, sorry.
This is fun.
Now,
hey, you did it.
Now it'll work.
See, now that won't go jumping into there. You're going to have to do it the other way, the subtract. Or I mean the crop.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Making it a little bit smaller. Okay, and then see, that's what it did again. Unless I'm not supposed to. Let's just try that.
So you had the H.
The first time I did it with the H selected and the picture, and then did crop.
Oh, you know what you need to do? You need to just grab that little square behind there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why.
If you can do that, can you grab that little square by itself?
I'll have to make it smaller.
Or you could make it transparent, maybe.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. That worked.
Oh, that worked. Okay, good.
That's where it went wrong. Now I can make it bigger if I want to. Yeah, so the letter part does go, doesn't it?
Right. Yeah, this is the new letter.
Okay.
Okay.
I suppose then we could muck around with nodes and that too if we really wanted to, eh?
Right. If you love them, yeah. Mhm.
I do like the nodes actually. It's fun.
I do too. Once you get over them, you can put one more picture in for us.
So what, sorry?
Do one more for us, please.
Yes, I will. I will. Which one will I do? Actually, I had an idea of one. I think will work really well. So that part, and let me do that. And then I have to keep moving it because I've got you in the way. Hang on, see if I can move you. Yes, I'll look at it. I can.
That's the same thing I have. Now you understand when I keep saying I have to move you people. I have to move you.
Here we go. I think them in there would be perfect.
Oh yeah, I love that.
So now you should be able to just grab them in that little box behind.
Yes.
Correct?
If I can
How do you get the little box behind and them?
I might have to do the transparency like you said.
I don't know.
I don't know if I can.
I wonder if you just draw, like kind of come up from the bottom towards the square. Like that, if it got it. It may have. Try that. But you might have got an E over there too. Oh, yay! Perfect. Now, did you happen to have made the offset to begin with?
No, I forgot that part.
Okay, no big deal. But it's really fun. Like you can make the offset black or you could make it white depending on what you're going to put this thing on, you know? You'd have white in between to make like the little frames around all the pictures.
Offset, Cameron.
Hey, Carmen, I see you.
And you know what? Because I've done the offset now, it's only going around that part. Right. Yeah, well, that's all right. I can play around with it. I can give them their own different colour offsets maybe.
There you go. Well, that's true. Look at her. She just came up with something new. She could give her each piece its own little color of an offset. That's cool. You know what you're doing? You're doing the line color.
Oh, yeah.
Fill.
I forgot you could see me. I'm busted.
Oh, no, move your picture. Just hit the back, yeah.
There you go. Oh, where's your offset go? Now you got to put your offset color back on again. There you go. Change it to, yeah, something so we can see. See? There you go. Okay.
There you go. We'll learn something new every day, Tracy.
Yes, yeah, very good. Okay. All right, I'll go back to me sharing, I think.
Okay. So I think it stops share. There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
It changes my whole screen when somebody else.
Yeah, I'm just changed too.
There you go. Are you back to me?
Yeah, back to you.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I guess that's enough of this. You understand this now. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go on to rhinestones because I have a little bit to show you that may be very helpful, especially for those of you, well, either one, if you're in Silhouette and that's what you use, or if you're using Design Space. I'm cleaning up my screen a little bit. If you shared your screen, you know what I'm talking about. All these boxes that get in your way. All right, so what I'm going to do, let me, oh gosh, you're still in the way. Go like that. Okay. And I'm still moving boxes. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to the store because I'm going to actually buy something, buy a rhinestone design so I could show you how this works. So I'm coming up to the store.
Share your screen.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
If you want to.
I do. I do. Okay, so thank you.
Oh, I better turn that mute off, hey?
No, you can talk. All right, so now you can see my store, the store. And up here in the store, I'm going to search for rhinestone, which I've already done. And what was I going to get? Oh, yeah, I was going to do a pumpkin just because I can. And one of these had a whole bunch of different sizes of rhinestones. I think it was this one, actually. So I think I'll just click on this one and check it out. So the first thing I always like to do is check out the description here because this one does use 3 colors. tells me how big it is, but it also tells me what size rhinestones. And I think I've told y'all before that I just use the SS10 size rhinestones. That's all I really want to use because I don't want to have to buy all these different ones, at least not right now. I'm fine with it the way it is. So I see that it's going to be 6.5 inches tall by 7 inches wide, and it's going to be fine, just like this. So I have purchased actually a little bit of credit, so I can just go to Express, and it's going to take 99 cents out of my little credit that I have. So I'll say proceed. And it's already been added to my silhouette library. So that's all I want to do. If I wanted to, I could also download it, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to cancel this and cancel this. I'm going to go back to Silhouette. So I have to give you a new share, I think. So I'm back here in Silhouette, and I'm going to come up here to my library, and I'm going to look for that pumpkin, and I should have looked for the name. It's probably pumpkin because these are in alphabetical order. That's not it. Oh, here, it's Rhinestone Pumpkin. Okay, here it is here. So I'm going to double click on that, and that's going to open it in Cricut, in Silhouette. Okay, and these are the SS10 rhinestones. So if I was to just take this and I wanted to use it in my Cameo, all I have to do now is go to Send, and it comes in just perfectly like this, okay? And I could just go ahead and cut these, and they'd be good to go. I could, on the other hand, let's see if I go to fill, nothing different's going to happen. So what I'd really want to do probably is look at the picture and maybe change some of the colors of some of these rhinestones to use it like that. Because right now they're just all the same color. Okay, so now let me show you, if I was to change these all to orange, and let's just say I go to File, this is for Cricut Design Space now, Save to Hard Drive, and I'll just call it Pumpkin. And as we know, we have to save it as an SVG for Cricut Design Space. I'm just going to save it in the same folder I was saving those pictures for class. So, okay. Notice what it says right here. It says Silhouette Design Store content will display in the exported file as dotted line segments as shown below. So if I just say okay, and I open up Cricut Design Space, got it here, and I go to upload an image, browse, and I want to go to my, can you see this? You can't see this now, can you?
Don't see it. You're still in Silhouette.
Okay, yeah, that's what I got to do. I got to change that. Okay. Okay, so I'm in here, and I'm going to go to my desktop. And you see my desktop now, correct? Or you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to go to Class, and there it is, the pumpkin. Now watch this. I'm going to go to Open. It looks kind of funny here, but I can't really tell for sure, so I'm going to save. And I'm going to bring this in, insert it. Whoa, it says it's quite large. It might take a moment. Look at all these cut files over here on the right-hand side. Something looks strange about them, though. Okay, so look, there's something definitely wrong. Those are not little holes that are going to cut out for my rhinestones. So I'm going to show you an easy way to fix this. And your Cricut Design Space won't crash. Go to New just to make sure we place that. So let's go back to Silhouette, and I got to get a new share going on.
You're there.
Okay. And here is, you know what, maybe if I just keep it at, let's see.
Yeah, it's shared automatically.
Okay, there. Now, here we have my pumpkin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a square or a rectangle, and I'm going to draw it. Now, since I've gotten my new computer, my setup is such that it doesn't come in with a fill. Yours may come in automatically with a fill over here, so it comes in looking like that. And actually it would look more like that with the transparency down. So what I would do after I draw it, if it comes in with the solid fill, so I would just right click on this and say send to back. Then I want to make sure that my pumpkin is nicely centered in there because I really do want this square. It's going to be helpful. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab all of this, and then all I have to do is come over here to the modify panel, which is right here, the rectangle and the circle, and say subtract. So what that's going to do is it's going to cut these little orange circles right out of that blue backing. And if I move it over here, you'll be able to tell. Can you see the gray color behind? Mm-hmm. So now what this is rather than it being a whole bunch of little circles here on top of this blue backing, or just a whole bunch of little circles, it's one piece with holes cut out. So now if I go over here and I go to File, Save As, Save to hard drive, and I'll name it, I'll put it in the same folder, and I'll save it as an SVG. I had pumpkin before. I'll name this pumpkin 2, excuse me, and I'll say okay. So now I'm going to come back over to Cricut Design Space, upload. There's that kooky one we did at first, right? Now I'm going to upload an image, browse, and it should be pumpkin 2. There it is. Let's save it and insert it. Okay, this thing came in beautifully. Look over here. It's just one piece that's going to cut. It's going to cut out this blue rectangle as well as all of the little holes here. There's one thing I forgot. Who knows besides Tammy what I forgot? Anybody know? Let me know in the chat if you know what I forgot to do.
Yep, Christina got it.
What was it? What did you say?
Note the size.
Yep, forgot to note the size. That's correct. So I've got to come back over here to silhouette, and you can see my silhouette now, Tammy?
Yes. Okay.
So if you look down here, right here, it tells the size, or it might be easier for you to look up here. The size is 8.663. So I can copy that. And like we learned from Nancy a long time ago, what you can do. Okay, I forgot to tell you, I always choose the width so I don't get confused. Always, 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 I just choose the width, and then the height changes automatically over there in Cricut Design Space. So what I could do is go to File, Save As, Save to hard drive, and this time save it again as an SVG if I'm using it in Cricut Design Space. I could name it, instead of Pumpkin 2, I could name it Pumpkin with that size, and then I'll know exactly what size I need to change that to. So it's 8.663. I'd say okay. But here we are over in Cricut Design Space. Pretend I brought that one in. So all I have to do now is to come up here to the size area and change the size. Let's see if it types. Yep, it'll even paste in just like that. And then hit enter, and it's going to make it the size I need it to be. And if we go to make it, it's going to come out perfectly just like this, and it's going to cut just perfectly like that. So let's go back again to silhouette. Whoopsie. Okay, so in silhouette, again, all you have to do once you have it like this, and I think I saw Nancy just come. Nancy, you missed it. I was just talking about that tip you gave us again, putting in the size and the name of the file that you're saving. That was really a helpful tip. But anyway, in silhouette, you'll just go to send. And again, if we look at just the lines, we can see what's going to cut. It's going to cut around this box, which is perfect, what we want. And then it's going to cut all of these little rhinestone areas. Well, I don't know how many of you got to see the video that I just did yesterday. Chow had asked a question, and oh yeah, I do have to tell you this. You cannot resize these things you buy. They are set up for an exact size object because the rhinestones are set. If you're using SS10 rhinestones, has to be just exactly like this. You can't go ahead and make it larger. If you make your own design in silhouette, you can stretch it. Let me show you. If you make a, say you make a star, and you're going to come over here to the Rhinestone tool, and we're going to come up here to where it says edge. Notice it put rhinestones around here, and I can color them so you can see them more easily. There they are. Look down here on the Rhinestones panel. Look at the very bottom, and it tells you how many rhinestones there are. SS10, that's the default that everything comes in at. There are 70. Take note of that. If I make this bigger, look what happens over here in the number of rhinestones. Now it changes it automatically to 210. So if you make your own rhinestone design, you can resize this however you'd like. And it's going to adjust the size of the image so that the rhinestone holes will still be perfect. When you purchase something, on the other hand, you cannot do that. The other thing, like I was showing you over here in the send, it is going to cut out the box, which you'd like, and then the holes in there. Okay, and then the other thing I was saying was Chow had asked that question, and I'm so glad she did, because as you know, I said I was running out of the template material. I do have a big order coming in, and now I almost wish I didn't. But I do have a large order of it coming in of 3 different kinds, so I'm going to test them for you so you can see which ones you like better. But Chow wanted to know something about which one of the templates should she use for the SS10, or how does she know which one? And I thought, well, I'm not exactly sure. I need to do a little test here. So I did a little test. Then I thought, well, I really should cut it out to make sure that this test is really working as I think it is. And I didn't really have template material, so I tried just cutting it out of cardstock, and lo and behold, this works. Y'all, you could use cardstock. I swear it's not quite as easy. You're going to have to use a tool maybe like the Pick Me Up tool, you can see on my screen, or someone else suggested another tool that might work. I thought maybe even a crayon would work, but there's this sticky stuff right here at the end of this tool, and you can pick up the rhinestones easily and move them. And the reason why I found that to be necessary was, since this cardstock is so flat, when you brush the rhinestones into position, if you rub too hard to get the excess off, you bounce these guys right back out of here. So my challenge to you is, hey, maybe try the backing material that the cardstock comes with, a little bit of a cardboard, and see if that's just deep enough to keep the rhinestones in there properly. And you don't want it to be too deep so that they fall down in there and your transfer paper won't pick them up. But the cardstock, if you're willing to put in a little bit of extra work, it works, and it saves you so much money. And if you don't mind weeding things, as I said, you're not going to mind moving a few rhinestones around either. It works perfectly. So let's see, does anybody have any questions right now? Can't get my chat to show up.
Nobody does.
Okay. Hang on just a sec. Okay,
Diana has a question.
Okay, good, because I can't.
Colors, she says.
Do what?
She wants to know how to change the colors of the rhinestones, I guess.
Oh, how to change them? Is that what you mean? How to change the rhinestone colors? Okay. So if you just want to do it so when you're playing around, let's see, let's go to this one. If you're playing and you're doing, making your own, all you do is come over here to the Rhinestone tool. And with my new computer here, the screen's so large, I don't have a little triangle down here that I have to click on to make my rhinestones shoot out. It's all over here on my right-hand side. I click on the Rhinestone panel to open that up. And then, of course, I can choose to do the edge rhinestones or the fill, linear fill, or the radial fill. let's just do the outer edge. To change those, all you have to do is, while those are still selected, come way up here on the left-hand side, and you can change them just like that to any color you like, blue, whatever.
She's talking about if you have 2 layers. She wants like 2 different layers, and she wants 2 different colors.
Okay, have you seen that video that I've done for that? So if I have 2 different layers, say like okay, wait, let me do this. Let me just duplicate this one. Hold down my Alt key and just duplicate it. Then I'm going to make it smaller, and I'll just, whoopsie, fit it inside of here. Say like I have it like that, and I have 2 different colors of them. Is that what you mean? And then how do I go about using this? If you're in Silhouette or Cameo, all you have to do is go over here to Send. And it's going to come in as 2 colors right here. So you can change it to Fill. And then you can have, all of these are checked right now. So what I would do is I would uncheck one of them. And that means my pink ones would cut first. And then after my pink ones cut, I would uncheck that, check the blue ones, and then those would cut. If you're in Cricut Design Space, let's see, let me go back to Design. Again, what I would want to do if I was in Design Space is this. Let's see, how would I want to do this? I would want to get a box. I've not thought this part through, so maybe you can think it through with me. There's a box. I'm going to make it have a color so you can see it more easily. I'm going to send it to the back. Then what I think I would do is this. I would grab all of that stuff, hold down my Alt key, and duplicate it like that. And then what I would do is I would take one of these. Let's see, how do I grab one? There we go. Grab the red one in there and delete it out. And then maybe take this one and grab the blue and delete those. And then I would save these both like this. I'm going to group this one so it stays right like that. And I'll group this one and it'll stay just like this. And the reason why I'm doing it like this, and maybe somebody else will have a better idea, but this is just so these are exactly the same size. So when I send them either to Design Space or to my Cameo, I can use that hinge method, which I've shown on the video. Tammy, did you say something?
No, I was saying, yeah, you could do that.
Right, so let's just check this out. Let's see what happens. Let's go ahead and save these to Design Space, and let's just see what happens. Save to hard drive, 2 stars. Still in my class. I'll just put it as SVG because that's what we need. Let's come over to Design Space again, and let's just see if that will work. Now I've got boxes to move again, darn it. Upload an image, browse, 2 stars, open. Okay, so there they are, save, and insert. Okay, so they came in right, but guess what, y'all? I forgot it again. I do this every single time. So I gotta go back to Silhouette, find out what is the size of one of these. The width of one is that, 5.333. So I just right click on that and go copy. And then I can just come right back here. And are these grouped? Yes, I'll have to ungroup them. And I would, oh, I gotta make sure I get the whole thing now. I've got to group that whole thing back. First though, I want to right click and send, wait a minute, what's going on here? Let me take this one, nope. Huh. I better go undo for a minute and see what I've just done. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to come over here and grab these 2. So they already are grouped. All of it's grouped. Is that correct? Yes. So I want to ungroup. So now I want to click this one and this and I'm going to group those two together. Okay, so it's easy to do it over here. So I'm going to click this and group. So then the next thing I am going to do is come up here, make sure that the lock is locked, change the width of this one, and hit enter. And I have to do this, remember, because these rhinestones must stay the size they are. If I decide willy-nilly to change this, it's going to change the size of these holes, and the rhinestones will not brush into there anymore. So I have to change both of these. Just right-clicking and pasting that size in and hitting enter on my keyboard. So now I could just go ahead and make these, make it. Whoa. Okay, what do I also have to do now?
The card behind it's got to be attached.
Correct. I've got to attach and attach. All right, now let's see if that's correct. Oh gosh. Okay, that.
Green.
Wait. Okay, obviously haven't gone this far with this. Let's see. Nancy, you're probably like, well, Patty Ann, just do this. Let's see. So I don't want to flatten those.
Slice?
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, very good. Yay, Tammy. So we're going to slice these out. Okay, so what's going to happen then is these are going to fit right directly on top of each other, just like that. If we do the hinge method, let's get rid of these guys over here. And I'll just have to remember what color I wanted to do them. And I can go to make it, and now that should work. These are cut out. Yep, you can see the lines behind there a little bit, and it's ready.
You could change the color of the square behind it.
Yes.
To the color you want, right?
I think. Let's try that.
So say you wanted those blue, then make the blue square, and then the other one whatever color you wanted, right?
Yep, sure could. Looky here. Okay, teamwork. All right, any other questions? I love that we learn together and help each other, and like Nancy's tip and Chow helping me to figure out that the cardstock works. Hey, there's the bloom.
Carol asked, do you need to subtract in silhouette?
Need to subtract in silhouette. So here we are in silhouette.
Share.
Okay, you don't see it. Okay, oopsie. Okay, so here we are in silhouette, and if we go to send, no, you don't have to, because if you'll notice over here, see if I can show you in lines. You can see what has red. I think I can scroll in as soon as I move this box out of the way. Yeah, so you can see that there's a red cut line around each of these. So they're going to cut out just perfectly like this. It's going to cut the box, and it's going to cut these things out perfectly. You don't need to do anything else to that. The same thing, let's go back to fill. So that was to do this one. If I want to not cut that one, see when I turn off the cut line, see how the red is gone? I cut it, or the outline of it is there. Let's go to this one down here, and you can see that there are cut lines around it. There. Roll in. So you don't need to do anything else when you're in silhouette.
Okay, Christine wants to know, should she mirror?
Okay, that depends on what kind of flock you're using, if you're using flock. Okay, I have a note for myself for that, because when I'm using the sticky flock, I do not mirror. I would say if you're using the cardstock, you don't need to mirror, because you're just going to cut it. It's going to be just like you like it. Put your stuff on. Do not mirror. Now, if you were using, I don't want to throw in a curveball, but if you're using regular, like HTV flock, you would mirror it then. But just remember, for cardstock or or sticky flock, you do not mirror. Anytime you use HTV, you mirror. So cardstock, sticky flock, do not mirror. Any others? Anybody else have any questions? I'm reading back through the questions to make sure. Note the size. Yep, Christine was right. I have a problem remembering to do that, but as soon as you get over there and you see it comes in about yay big, you're like, yeah, I know what I forgot.
Okay. Grandma Pat says, can you change the size for rhinestones in the store?
Can you change the size? No. When you go to the store, and I think I'll have to share my screen again. Okay. When you're over here in the store and you just type in rhinestone and you look for rhinestone things, it's going to tell you exactly what you use, and you cannot change it here in the store stuff. You could use this kind of as a pattern to try to draw your own. But for example, this one says this rhinestone design is approximately 3 inches by 3 inches, and it uses 60 of the 10SS size and 1 of the 20SS rhinestones and 1 of the 16. So obviously this is the what, the 20, the 16 and the 20 right here. So you would have to have those if you wanted to do this one. Here's another one that's crazy. This one is a design that's 5 by 5, 5.5 by 5.5. It uses 10 SS stones and 16 SS stones and 20 stone. I've heard that SS stands for stone size. So I don't like to choose those. So what I choose are ones that just use the same stone size. I see this one automatically uses several different stone sizes, but you can't change that. Looks like this one, nope, it also uses different stone sizes. I believe this one, on the other hand, is all the same. Yep, this one just uses 20 SS stone sizes.
She wants to know if she goes to the Rhinestone World because she changed theirs.
I've been to the Rhinestone World, and I've had no. I would say no. If you're buying a design, and they'll tell you exactly which size to use. For example, if you buy their fonts, they will tell you exactly what size you have to have the font set up as for it to work, which probably isn't making much sense to you right now, but I have a small video on that. Let's see if I know exactly where it is. I don't right offhand. Okay, so I can show you this. Okay, so let's go back to Silhouette Business Edition again. And let me fix my share just in case. All right, and let me get a new one. All right, so let's pretend that I'm going to use the TRW Clean Stone font. And that's a font that you can get over there for free. So I'll just type in T with capitals, TRW Clean font, just so you know if you want to get it. And I'm going to highlight that. And I'm hoping I have this on my new computer. If I don't, I'm not going to be able to show you, but I think I put it on here already. So I scroll way down here to where I get to, yep, there it is. TRW Clean Stone. Okay, so now you can see that I have these rhinestones in here, right? But we're not exactly sure if the size is right, especially in Cricut Design Space. So I'm going to minimize this a little bit again. And according to that font, if I went to the Rhinestone World, it tells you that for the 10 SS rhinestones, you have to have your point size to 272. I think I put it in here. I really haven't done this here. I usually do it in Cricut Design Space. 272. Let's see if this is right. Okay, no. So let's go over to Cricut Design Space and I'll show you it there. Cricut Design Space. Okay, here we go. Going to go to New, Place. Going to type in, I'll just type in TRW, caps, TRW. Okay, and I'm going to move it up here so we can see it easily. And I'm just going to make it big for right now. And I'm going to change, whoops, going to change the font to.
Share your screen.
Oh, thank you. New share. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to change the font to, it's a system font. It's on my system. And it's the TRW. I hope it's here. It should be here. Okay, there we go. TRW Clean Stone right here. Change it to that. So it changed it automatically to Rhinestones. And you would think that I could change this any way I want to, but I really cannot. When you go to TRW and you get something, it will tell you exactly what size that thing is going to be or the font is going to be. So I know for this font, I have to change the font size for this to work to 272 if I wanted to work with 10 SS rhinestones. So that's how large it would be, period. That's how large my design would be if I type that out. I can't make it smaller. If I make it smaller, I'm making the hole smaller, and it will not work for that font. Now, I could probably show you that. Let me check really quickly. I know I have to change my screen. Oopsie.
No, we went with you.
Oh, you did? Oh, brother. Okay. The Rhinestone World. I'm going to go to the Rhinestone World, and I'm going to come up here to the search, and I'm going to say clean font. Clean Stone. There it was. Here it is, the free one. Look what it says right here. Right here. It tells you exactly. If you're using the SS10 stones, you must change your text size or your point size to 272. And then, of course, if you want to use the SS6 rhinestones, it'll tell you what to change it to. But you just can't change it willy-nilly yourself, like big, make it small, make it big, and think that your rhinestones, your SS10 rhinestones, are going to fit. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So sometimes you really want to put like a little tiny letter, and you're like, you can't use an SS10 or an SS20 because those are too large. You can't put enough of them in that little tiny spot to make it look like a letter. So you have to follow the rules that are given to you here when you purchase things that are pre-made.
Okay, I have a trick question.
Great. But
could you possibly make your own rhinestone font?
Well, absolutely.
There you go. I knew you could. I knew
Right.
you could. I'm not talking about me. I knew as in Patty Ann can.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Let's make a B. Let's check this. Let's look at this for 1 second. Time's up, but let's go for one more minute here. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to make this larger. And I think, haven't done this, or I don't remember. Let's see. I can't just do that. Yeah, I can just do that. So there it is. There's a B. So all I did was come over here. I typed in the B, and I put this around it. Now look how many rhinestones it says. I'm using 94 of the 10SS. Since I've made this myself, I can change its size. And look what it did to the number of rhinestones, 183. Okay, something's a little bit screwy with that one. And if I convert this to a path, it's going to go like that, but I don't think I can now change. Let's see. Yep, I still can. Okay, so look at that. I can definitely do this. and I can size it however I want to, because this Silhouette program is so advanced that it automatically changes the number of rhinestones. When I stretch this and make it bigger, it's not just stretching the rhinestone holes, it's actually adding more rhinestones to take up the space that I've done. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you want something bigger, use your own font and not theirs, right? Come in and write your word here and then just save it as an SVG and take it to Cricut Design Space.
I guess the problem, here's the problem with this one though. What would happen if I just went and saved this as an SVG and took it to Cricut Design Space just like this? What would happen?
Well, it might not come in right. You need that card behind it.
Yep, because you know what's going to happen, right? It's going to come in. Each one of these little things, when I release these rhinestones, when I click, let me highlight this and click Release Rhinestones. Look at this. Every one of these little rhinestones has a box around it, meaning each one is its own little individual thing. So when you take this over into Cricut Design Space, and I know some of you have witnessed this, it shows all those millions of little round circles over there. And it's really a pain because oftentimes it will just mess up your Cricut Design Space. You won't be able to get it to work. However, if you do this, bring the box like we did before. I could change its color. And I'm going to right click and say send it to the back. Then I'm going to grab all of this and just come over here to modify and subtract. So what it's doing is it's cutting every one of those little holes out of that piece of cardstock or that piece of template material. See that? And so when I take this over to Cricut Design Space, all it's going to be is one piece with all these little holes cut out of it.
Perfect.
Well, that's pretty much it. So if anybody else has any more questions, let me know. You can ask them in our Silhouette Facebook group. Also, if you do use a Cameo and you know somebody who's really struggling with theirs, please encourage them to join the latest class that I've started. It's free. It's trying to help them get their machine out of the box and get started having some fun with it. If you go to PattyAnnesPlace.com, that's a website I had a long time ago, and I'm just revamping it a little bit. But if they go there, they'll be able to sign up for the free classes. There are 5 of them. Anytime they sign up, that's just where they'll start right there. They'll get a class a week and hopefully be able to get their machines out of the box and start playing, because it really is a lot of fun and it's not as scary as some of them think it is. So,
yeah.
Share it, please, if you would. Yeah.
On another note,
yes.
If you're in the group too, go and sign up to that blog that she's talking about. You don't have to have a Silhouette to sign up for the blog, because there will be free SVGs for signing up. You'll get an email, and this will change eventually. I mean, it could be 5 free Cricut classes at some point, or whatever. But everybody just go ahead and share with your friends or whoever, and sign up for that blog. It's free.
Yeah.
And there's other things. I mean, all her videos are on there. It's real neat to have. Just all you do to sign up is put your email in there, and you'll be subscribed, and you'll get an email every time she sends one out. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys being here, and I really appreciate you supporting me in this little endeavor. I don't think Colleen showed up, so she probably didn't see the screen that I had back there. That was her pool. That used to be a pool and now it's a pond. Let's see, do I have anything else I wanted to tell you? I have some post-it notes. Next week, we're going to do the Bling Anything. So I'll show you how to use that material. Hopefully, I'll be able to work over the heat press and show you just how you use this stuff called Bling Anything, so you can put it on anything. Since these are hot fix rhinestones, you really can't just iron them onto these things. So there's a material called Bling Anything, and you can actually bling anything. So I've done this mug. Now they say it's dishwasher safe. This has been in the dishwasher about 30 times. This was the first thing I did. I did have a few rhinestones fall off, but I'm thinking maybe that was user error because this was my first time. This one's been in the dishwasher a few times too, and nothing has come off at all. So anyway, obviously they bling anything. You can bling your phone, the back of your phone. A lot of people bling the top of their laptops, just all kind of stuff you could use it for. So that'll be next week. We're going to bling anything. And let's see, is there anything else? Nope, I guess that's it. So thanks again for joining me. And thank you, Tammy. Couldn't do it without you. All right, bye. I'm going to end the meeting now. Bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody.